time. We are daughters of dust and sons of great vision. We're sisters of mercy. Seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's greetings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of purpose and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and sons of great vision. We're of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers and we are our grandfather's dreams. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Becky Bogert, and I am both humbled and proud to serve on your Board of Trustees. We'd like to extend a warm welcome this morning to everyone, especially our visitors, both here on campus and online. And we invite our visitors to participate in any of our events, including what we're having after the service. We welcome visitors to find out more about the University Unitarian Universalism by registering on our virtual guest book, which you can find on our link on the home page of our website at uusrq.org. If you're here in person, there's a sign-up sheet for visitors at the welcome table on your way out. If you do sign, we will send you our weekly newsletter and Zoom links to our virtual events. We look forward to getting to know each other. When I was asked, just a personal note, and then two small announcements. When I was asked to serve on the board, I immediately said yes, partly for my love of UUSRQ, and also because I am a passionate learner, and I knew I would learn a great deal. And indeed, I have learned a great deal. One of the most profound things I've learned and has instilled in me great admiration and gratitude from everyone here in person and online. Just knowing a little bit today, more about what goes on behind the scenes, I am in awe, absolute awe, of the number of volunteers and committees we have and the hours that our leaders, both paid and volunteered, are put in every week. I feel the same way about those who just always donate to our stewardship campaign every year with a warm heart, and to those who come and sit in the same seats every Sunday, and we know they're going to be there, and we know we're going to see them. And also to all of those who work outside our community, and Reverend Jay models that for us, and representing UUSRQ. We are truly a community where many pitch in and work hard to fulfill our mission of aspiring to be a multi-generational, multicultural community known for its advancing justice, creating a safe place where all persons can find belonging, spiritual growth, and on life's journey get support. I, for one, would like to express my gratitude to each of you, and you all know who you are and all the different things that you've done, and I just wrecked up Reverend Jay's message, for everything you've done for us. I more than ever realize that we are the community. We are UUSRQ. It is not one person. And all of you pitch in to make it so, and I'd like to express my gratitude and thank you. Now, just a couple messages. Speaking of being engaged, our Director of Programs, Catherine Bonner, has put a link in our newsletter that goes to a survey that will help Catherine plan this upcoming year's programs. Please fill this out so she can put together a program that will meet your needs. She wants to hear from you so that whatever programs we have this year match your needs. If you don't have a computer at home or need assistance, I brought mine, and I will be outside at the membership desk, and I'll help anybody get to the link and fill it out if you've had any trouble. Two more quick announcements. Instead of our usual coffee and conversation after the service, you're invited to attend our monthly potluck. If you haven't brought any food, especially if you're a visitor, that's fine. We always have plenty and love to share it with others. There's no better way to get to know someone in a more meaningful way or to connect with someone than over food. Also, this Sunday is member sign-up. Normally, this is the first Sunday of the month, but we delayed it a week so Reverend Jay could participate. If you wish to become a new member of the congregation, Reverend Jay will be meeting with new members in the Reeb Room 15 minutes after the service. Feel free to pick up your potluck food first and then go to the Reeb Room, and Reverend Jay will be there to greet you, and tables will be set up for you. We ask for all of us to be radically hospitable. I got that word from Reverend Jay. And allow new members to get their food first so they can gather in the room shortly after, and they can have a good time with Reverend Jay. Thank you. And now our opening music by our returning Paul Duffy, the America, the Land of Hopes and Dreams. Thank you.
Good morning, folks. How are you? Thank you. Folks, I always know if an audience is going to be good or bad. Good night. This is a song I'm very proud of, folks. I came to the United States first in 1982 and was very daunted because, I mean, coming from Ireland, small little country, and I was astounded at how people were so welcoming and so conducive to getting me on my feet and getting me established. And I thought I got to write a song about that shows the emotion that I feel about this country. And you know, everybody knows this is the greatest country on earth. There's two kinds of people from Ireland. Bill Delgarno I think will attest to this, or Scotland. The ones that stay in the same village all their lives, and you know, that's okay, and they go to the same pub and they talk to the same, they have the same friends, and great. And then there's the other kind of people like Bill and I who go, I want to see what's out there. I want to, you know, I want to experience. And during the potato famine, of course, things were really bad in Ireland. And just after that, again, I mean, the late 1800s, Ellis Island opened. And they called it the Golden Door. Irish people called it the Golden Door. That was the door to opportunity and stuff. So this song is called America, Land of Hopes and Dreams. And it's all about, you know, people not judging here and not, you don't have to be from a class, or you don't have to, you know, have any credentials. You can start from scratch and work your way right up. Here we go. They came to Ellis Island with nothing but their dreams, and they feasted on the New York skyline, thinking it's surreal. The journey, long and treacherous, was almost at an end, and for their loved ones lost along the way, their hearts would never mend. But landing on that New York soil gave them newfound hope that the land of opportunity would keep their dreams afloat. Oh, America, America keeps calling out to me. America, America, the land of hopes and dreams, the freedom to be who you are and what you'd like to be. America, America, where people live so free. Now many of them made their mark, and many fell from grace. Some just couldn't cope with their new home's frantic pace. The people in the old side thought their folks were doing fine, but in reality their dreams were slipping further down the line. 3,000 miles away from home and nowhere left to turn. Try to put aside their foolish pride now watching bridges burn. Oh, America, America keeps calling out to me. America, America, the land of hopes and dreams, the freedom to be who you are and what you'd like to be. America, America, where people live so free. America keeps calling out to me. America, America, the land of hopes and dreams, the freedom to be who you are and what you'd like to be. America, America, where people live so free. Memories, they linger on in stories that are told, and the legends of old Ireland are like precious coins of gold. From McCool, Cuchulainn, and the land of Tiernan, Michael Collins, De Valera, and Kevin Barry Og. Just for one brief moment you forget your cares and woes, but the morning brings reality, and the truth it will unfold. Oh, America, America keeps calling out to me. America, America, the land of hopes and dreams, the freedom to be who you are and what you'd like to be. America, America, where people live so free. Oh, America, America keeps calling out to me. America, America, the land of hopes and dreams, the freedom to be who you are and what you'd like to be. America, America, where people live so free. Thank you.
I didn't mess it up too much. So good morning. I am Reverend J. Wolin. I've been away on vacation and study leave this summer. It is great to be back with you. Our opening reading today is from the Reverend William Ellery chanting from 1819, Unitarian Christianity. We believe that all virtue has its foundation in the moral nature of humanity, that is, in conscience, or their sense of duty, and in the power of forming their temper and life according to conscience. We believe that these moral faculties are the grounds of responsibility and the highest distinctions of human nature, and that no act is praiseworthy, no act, any farther than it springs from their exertion. We believe that no disposition infused into us without our own moral activity are the nature of virtue. And therefore we reject the doctrine of irresistible divine influence on the human mind, molding it into goodness as marble is hewn into a statue. We regard the spirit of love, charity, meekness, forgiveness, liberality, and beneficence as the badge and distinction of Christians, as the brightest image we can bear of God, as the best proof of piety. As we light our chalice now, please join me in affirming the preamble to the UUA's Article 2 Values and Covenants, which are printed in your order of service and on the screen. As Unitarian Universalists, we covenant congregation to congregation and through our association to support and assist one another in our ministries. We draw from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundations of love.
Good morning, everyone. Today's story is Taco Falls Apart, written by Brenda S. Miles and illustrated by Monica Filipina. So meet Taco. Everyone expects so much from him. He must stand tall. He must be open. He must stay strong. But one day, Taco hits his breaking point. The world wants too much from me, he cries, and he cracks, and he tips over, and he falls apart. Oh no, what's wrong? What's happening? I think I'm terrible at being a taco. I feel terrible, and everything I do is terrible. I can't even stand up or keep it together. I'm done. Well, the beans gasped. This is awful, says the avocado, and the onions formed a ring and started crying. Enough. Taco, you can change all this, says Nacho. Once you know about think, feel, and do. You said it yourself, says Nacho. You think you are terrible, so you feel terrible. And now you won't do anything, and that's terrible. That's loopy, said the lettuce. Oh, I feel dizzy, said Taco. Hey, Taco, shake things up. You need to shake things up, says the salt. If you wanna change what you think, then that will change how you feel, and then you will change too. Yippee! But how? Asked Taco. Think about what makes you feel terrific, says Nacho, and you'll feel better. We think about being crisp instead of wilty, says the lettuce. I'm sour, says sour cream, but I add terrific flavor. Well, we make farts, said the beans, but we are good for the heart. Your turn, Taco, says Nacho Cheese. Turn terrible into terrific. Oh, I'll never figure out this thinking stuff. Wrong! Never is not helpful for any kind of thinking. And it's not even true. You've figured out hard stuff before. Think about all that you can do and try again. Taco sighs. Why bother? I'm just going to fall apart again tomorrow. Wrong. Are you a fortune teller or a taco? Do you really know what's going to happen? Can you see our future? Do you have a crystal ball? Helpful thoughts only, please. So Taco thinks for a long time. Well, I think there are days when I stand up tall and I hold us all together, says Taco. And thinking about what I can do does make me feel better. So now I want to do this. And Taco stands up. Hooray! Come on, everybody, let's pull it together. Group hug. Now Taco thinks a lot about his thoughts. And some days he does fall apart. And some days his shell cracks. But when Taco thinks about all that he can do, he feels strong and he stands tall and life all around seems super terrific, especially when you have friends who will boost you up when you are feeling down. So children, as you head back to school on Monday and you think you might not remember everything that you learned before and that school is too hard, just remember, you have everything that you need right inside of you. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed at times. Even grown-ups feel that way. But you have friends here and you have friends at school to help pick you up and give you that pep talk. Because if we can think positive thoughts, we can feel better and we can do better. So now I invite our children and youth to join me in the West Wing as we learn about our new UU superhero, Jet Pig.
I forgot to mention, folks, that another main reason for leaving Ireland was the weather. Nothing unusual when I was growing up to have 60 days of rain in a row, which is not great when you're trying to play outside, you're trying to play football and stuff. They used to say when I was growing up that Ireland would be a great country if it had a roof on it. Here's a little James Taylor, and song has been around for a long time. Please feel free to sing with me. When you're down in trouble and you need some love and care, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. The sky above you should turn dark and turn to clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow. Keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your front door. You just call out my name, and wherever I am, I'll come running, lovely, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Well, ain't it good to know you got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you, they'll desert you, and take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend. You got a friend. Everybody's got a friend. You got a friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Whew. Always love a good sing-along. Our centering in words today I'm going to do a little something different, a guided meditation written by Deb Walker. I heard this at General Assembly, and she's the Director of Religious Education in New York City Community Church. So I invite you to relax, take a deep breath in, settle into your space. Let your body, if you want to feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or not. And just breathe in slowly and out. Let your body be supported by the seat beneath you. Take a few more breaths. Now I invite you, without hitting the person in front of you, to extend your hands in front of you with your palms open. I want you to imagine everything that you know, everything, your experiences, your beliefs, your questions, your truths. Rest gently in your open hands and notice the weight of them all. The stories you carry, the lessons you learn, the truth you hold dear. Let's sit with that for just a moment. And as you are ready, slowly gather all your knowing into one hand and gently close your fingers around it, holding it with care and with reverence. And let your other hand remain open and receptive. Feel the possibility there. The openness, the curiosity, the readiness to receive something new. This is the sacred tension that we hold, honoring what we know and making space for the story yet to be told. As we go into a time of silence, I invite you to continue to imagine what stories are still to be created. So I returned this week from vacation and study leave, time for rest, reflection, and renewal. And I want to just first thank all of you for giving me that gift of time. I also want to especially thank the worship committee and all those who participated in worship while I was away. So let's give them a round of applause. Because even if I'm not here, right, people still need to come together. And so during this time, though, I attended General Assembly virtually. That's our annual gathering of Unitarian Universalist congregations. And during General Assembly, there are always great programs and innovative worship. Paula Cole-Jones, who we have worked with on our journey to multiculturalism, was a recipient of a Distinguished Service Award. The annual Ware Lecture was offered by Amara Jones, who gave an impassioned lecture on transgender issues. And after a 4-year hiatus, mostly due to COVID, we passed a Congregational Study Action Issue, or CSAI, and this year the one that was passed was Abolition, Transformation, and Faith Formation. So a CSI, just so people know what that is a topic that the UUA will put time and energy and resources behind to do a deep dive into, and then they provide resources for congregations to become engaged in that work if we so choose. And with an overwhelming majority, we passed 3 actions of immediate witness, or we call AIW. 1, we declare and affirm immigrants are people who have inherent worth and inalienable rights. 2, faithful defiance of authoritarianism, a call to action. And 3, defending LGBTIQ freedom amid funding crisis, a call for global solidarity. And as I will tell you, I believe on the 24th there will be a forum on the AIWs if you want more information, or go to uua.org and you can search. Other than General Assembly, though, and seeing my grandchildren, and children, really more my grandchildren, but which I had a great time doing and was quite exhausting. I read books on history, theology, justice, along with just a few for fun, and I'll try to post some of the books that I've read with my opinions on them. I prepared for upcoming services and adult education programs, but most of all, I gave myself space to simply breathe. Something I don't always find time for in the busy rhythm of congregational life. As much as I cherish that time away, I am grateful to be back. I really miss being here. So thank you for showing up today. Yeah. So coming back to the pulse of congregational life, however, I also feel the weight of the world that we were living in. It's easy to be a little bit of a bubble when you're just sitting around reading books all day long. You don't have to read past the headlines to see our democratic institutions are being tested in ways we once thought unthinkable. Political violence is being normalized. Laws are being passed that silence educators and students, erase queer and trans lives from governmental and public spaces, and restrict access to voting. And those restrictions are going to get worse as time goes on. Science is disregarded. Climate science and further research on vaccines that have saved millions of people. We have experiential evidence of that. Right? They're being shelved. Rights we once thought secure are under attack. Climate chaos brings floods, fires, heat waves. Oh my God, how many days over 110 degrees, did we have this summer here? More than I ever remember with the heat index, But I do, I count the heat index, it's real. I mean, it's a real thing. I just recently heard literally the government statement declaring that greenhouse gas emissions do not endanger humans. What are we talking about, people? And yet I want to say, despite all of this, I want to assure you we are not without agency. We can still raise our voices, show up for one another, and nurture communities of resistance and resilience. We can choose to be bearers of truth, compassion, and moral clarity. We are not powerless. We are here now in the present moment, and we must constantly renew the well of sustenance, resilience, and resistance from which we all draw together, from even our presence being together. The theme of this year's General Assembly was Meet the Moment. It is not just a slogan, although it's a good slogan, but it's not just a slogan. It is a spiritual challenge. The idea is simple on the surface, right? Take stock of the moment that we are in, right? Recognize its particular demands and possibilities and respond from our deepest values. But like most spiritual practices, it is easier said than done, and it needs to be practiced. Many of us, particularly our older congregants, have lived through moments of great cultural and political upheaval before. We know what it is to shape and be shaped by history. But there is something about this moment that feels especially complex, especially demanding. And I'll admit, there are sometimes I find myself just staring at the news or my phone. I don't really watch TV too much anymore. It's all digital news I read a lot now. I just find myself staring at it like frozen in bewilderment. Other times I bury myself in the busyness where I'm sure if I can just check off one more thing on my to-do list, I can withhold that rage or grief that is welling up within me. But when I slow down and return to the well of this tradition, our Unitarian Universalist faith, I remember that I am not alone and I am not powerless, that we have each other and we have a long religious tradition to learn from. And at General Assembly, there was a reminder that 2025 was the 200th anniversary of the founding of the American Unitarian Association. Now, originally, Unitarians were part of the Congregational Church. Some Congregational churches had Trinitarian ministers, others had Unitarian ministers. And at some point, there was a falling out between the two of them, and the Unitarians were pressured to move out and form their own religious denomination. And so there's a lot of detail about that, which we'll go into another time. But, the Unitarians in the split, which from the Congregationalists, which is now part of UCC, United Church of Christ, or as we often say, Unitarians Considering Christ. It's an old UU joke. But that sermon, which I spoke from Unitarian Christianity by William Ellery Channing, which I read an excerpt from earlier, would shape the future of American Unitarianism. In that sermon, Channing defended the unity of God, the use of reason, and the revolutionary idea that moral authority comes from within. Right? He wrote, "No act is praiseworthy any farther than it springs from moral exertion, from our actions." Channing called us to cultivate our inner life, and 2 centuries later, Channing's challenge echoes. We must meet this moment as moral agents, as has always been a faith that responds to the urgent questions of its time. The earliest Unitarians challenged the orthodoxy of Christianity, not just for the goal of being rebellious, right? But to be faithful to what they believe to be truth and love. Our Universalist forebears, they refused to believe in a God who would damn anyone to hell, and insisted instead that all souls were worthy of salvation, even when their neighbors called them heretics. I've been called heretic a lot of times, and I remind people that all that means is choosing. That's what heretic means, to choose. Today, though, we forget just how radical a stance that was in those times. I mean, it was very radical. But over time, they changed the religious landscape of America. And we are their spiritual descendants. And now it's our turn. Meeting the moment, of course, takes more than just intention. It takes energy. It takes presence, showing up. And yes, it takes money. So now we shift from reflection to practice. I invite you to give as generously as you are able. Let this offering be one way that we meet the moment together. For those online or here on your cell phone, you can just click the QR code, or if you're online, the video has a QR code in it. Let this sacred time begin. next reading is from Transcendental Etude by Adrian Rich. No one ever told us to study our lives, make of our lives a study as if learning natural history or music, that we should begin with the simple exercises first and slowly go on trying the hard ones, practicing till strength and accuracy become one with the daring to leap into transcendence. Take the chance of breaking down in the wild arpeggio or the fault in the full sentence of the fugue, and in the fact that we can't live like that. We take on everything at once before we've even begun to read or mark time. We're forced to begin in the midst of the hardest moment, the one already sounding as we are born. Everything else is too soon, too sudden. Everything else seems beyond us. We aren't ready for it. Nothing that was said is true for us. Caught naked in the argument, the counterpoint. Trying to sight read what our fingers can't keep up with. Learn by heart what we can't even read. And yet it is this that we were born to do. And now one last time, our friend Paul Duffy.
Would just like to thank Reverend Jay and Don Bren, folks, for inviting me to play for you today. It was a pleasure to come here. And I'm going to dedicate this Benny King song to my good friend Bill Delgado and Wilda down there. Bill, folks, is 97 years young. And he is my hero, has been for quite some time now. I told him today, I gave him a hug, I said, please, Bill, write down what you've been doing for the last 30 years. I'm going to be 67 next birthday, so if I can be like you, Bill, there is a God. Benny King, stand by me. Please sing with me, folks. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. All right, come on, folks. So, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Now, if the sky that we look upon should come a-tumbling down and fall, and the mountains, they would come crumbling down to the sea, I won't cry, no I won't even shed me one single little tear, just as long as you stand by me. 'Cause whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Now if the sky that we look upon could tumble down and fall, and the mountains would come crumbling down to the sea, I won't cry, no I won't even shed me one single little tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Come on, folks. Why don't you stand? Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand? Oh, stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen this coming year and what it will ask of us as a congregation, but I do know that we are called to discern it together. The UUA's Meet the Moment framework invites us into that process, and it asks us 3 questions to ground us. What is the moment we are in? What are the most urgent needs and important opportunities of this moment? And how are Unitarian Universalist values calling us to respond? And we will focus on that last question, is how do our Unitarian Universalist values call us to respond? Our values are called to live differently. Our principles and values are not aspirations just hung on a wall or listed in a book to read. They are tools for discernment themselves. They are anchors by which we can test our choices. They are the compass by which we navigate the wilderness of uncertainty. Love is not an abstraction. It asks us to choose empathy over indifference in our daily interactions. Equity calls us to remove barriers so that everyone has the opportunity to find what they need to thrive. Generosity means more than giving money. It means giving of ourselves to one another. Interdependence demands that we stop pretending that we can go it alone and reminds us that what we do does matter. Justice asks us to disrupt systems that keep people marginalized. And pluralism means truly honoring diverse truths, not just tolerating difference, but celebrating it. And transformation means willingness to change, not just others, but ourselves as well. Our faith invites us not to retreat from the world, but to step into it with clarity, with courage, with humility. So let me ask us, what might it mean for this congregation to meet the moment? And we will talk about that over the coming year, because it also will include taking risks. Because let's be honest, meeting the moment will require risk. The risk of failure, the risk of rejection, the risk of getting it wrong, maybe the risk of getting it right even. But our tradition teaches us that faithfulness matters more than perfection, that conscience matters more than comfort. Right? Adrian Rich wrote in the poem, right? We take on everything at once, right? Trying to sight read what our fingers can't keep up with. And yet this is what we were born to do, right? So it is a time to leap into what Rich calls the wild arpeggio, which I didn't know what that was until I talked to Don Bryn before the service. Right? Not because we know we'll get every note right, but because the community needs us to try. We are not the first generation of Unitarian Universalists to face a world of flux. The founders of our faith did not wait for perfect clarity or surety or safety. They stepped into the public square, they challenged unjust systems, and they built communities rooted in reason, love, and freedom. And now it is our turn. Our ancestors lit the flame. We are the ones that must carry it forward. So let us meet this moment with a faith that is bold, a love that is fierce, and a hope that is grounded. Let us be the religion that history looks back on and says, they did not shrink from the challenge. They met it together. May it be so. Please rise and thank you. Please rise and bow down to our spirit for our closing hymn, We Would Be One. Come also from Adrian Rich's Transcendental Etude. There comes a time, and perhaps this is one of them, when we have to take ourselves more seriously or die. When we have to pull back from the incantations, rhythms we've moved through thoughtlessly, and disenthrall ourselves, bestow ourselves to a silence or a server listening, cleansed of oratory formulas, choruses, laments, static crowding the wires. We cut the wires. We find ourselves in free fall as if our true home were the undimensional solitudes, the rift in the great nebula. No one who survives to speak a new language has avoided this, the cutting away of an old force that held her rooted to an old ground. As we extinguish our chalice, please join us as we go forth from here. Let us find a new groundedness within which to move forward in the world. We extinguish this flame, but not light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you all for being here. Go forth, have fun, do good, eat food.